The box office is no friend to Rachel Zegler. Yes, audiences have clearly rejected her not only in Snow White, which is one of the biggest flops ever, but basically in every single one of her movies. However, Hollywood seems to consider Rachel Zegler their darling. And now, in a bigger spin than a twister in Tornado Alley, out of Collider comes a puff piece on Rachel Zegler that attempts to put this young actress in a place that audiences know she never can go. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming in today. As always, it is an honor to have you, the best audience on YouTube, here with us today. And we only have one simple favor to ask, and that is that you like this video by tapping that like button below. As we have for you today something very special and very strange. As audiences are rejecting this young lady in droves, it seems that Hollywood can do nothing to stop itself from doing everything they can to prop her up. And whether that is proper or not, well, we'll let you be the judge of that. You may already know that Snow White is not doing so well at the box office. So when it comes to the audience, that's you out there watching, we're not exactly loving on this particular live action property from Disney. And I can show you exactly what we mean when we bring up the slide from the numbers. There it is, Disney's Snow White 2025. So far, its performance after 2 full weekends and as we're nearing the end of another week at the box office, the domestic box office is 69 million point 8. International box office is 75 million point 8. The worldwide box office is $145.6 million. Now that seems like a lot of money to most people, but here's the deal. The production budget was $270 million, and they had to put advertising on top of that. So we're looking at a minimum of probably $350 million minimum. Now, the rule of thumb is it needs twice the cost to break even at the box office. So you would need $700 million in box office revenue minimum for this thing to break even. I say minimum because it's very likely that those reported budgets are way under what it actually costs, because Disney's infamous for that. So it may be closer to a $300 million cost just to produce this thing with reshoots, another $100 million to advertise it. I don't think they went 150, because as much as I see a lot of shilling for this, it wasn't advertised in a typical way. So maybe they went to $100 million on the marketing budget for a total spend of $400 million, which would mean that you would, at that point in time, you would need $800 million just to break even. And they were probably trying to cut as many costs as they could, because they knew that this was going to happen. But here's the performance. After 2 weeks in and dropping fast, it's $145.6 million worldwide. That is falling way short of what it would need at the box office. I mean, we're talking about a couple $100 million loss for the Walt Disney Company. So while that is going on, at the same time, Hollywood is celebrating Rachel Zegler. I put out a video last night about Hollywood celebrities like Pedro Pascal calling Rachel Zegler an icon for no reason. She's never had a successful box office movie. It's really, really crazy. She has got talent, but she has as much talent as 100 million other girls, women waiting in the wings that are out there that can sing and dance and act and probably be better. There's always better. And I don't think Rachel Zegler has anything truly special when it comes to talent. She's okay, but there's better out there. Well, it does seem, and I don't know if you guys have seen it, but like on my Facebook or Instagram, I have seen so much over the top shilling for Rachel Zegler. Oh, Rachel Zegler's great at this. Rachel Zegler's great. I'm like, no, she put it out there herself. Her attitude, her post, her literal post putting down half of the citizens of the United States of America more. Oh my goodness gracious. me. But so here's what's weird about that. Institutions like Collider saying that this is some kind of a victory for Rachel Zegler. I don't know if you've heard of that outlet, the No Spin News, but this particular story makes me go, you spin my head right round, because this is a lot of spin. We'll put it on the screen for you to see out of that parkplace.com. Collider celebrates Snow White box office as a major victory for Rachel Zegler. Out of that Park Place, April 1st by Mr. Montanero. This is crazy for me. It's crazy. I just hard to believe. But there she is, looking like she looks lost in the woods, which is actually not really acting for her because she often looks lost in the woods. When a $250 million Disney tentpole gets embarrassed at the box office, it should be newsworthy. When that same movie is surrounded by controversy, audience rejection, and a spectacular second weekend collapse, it should be the story. But if you're Collider, apparently the Snow White box office is a cause for celebration because Rachel Zegler just hit a new career milestone. This isn't reporting, it's damage control dressed up in clickbait. A 66% drop. Let's talk about her cumulative career grosses instead. Let me reread that, probably the way it's meant to be read. A 66% drop? Oh, let's talk about her cumulative career grosses instead. Yes, Collider's latest article tries to salvage the narrative around Snow White's poor performance by shifting focus to a feel-good stat. Zegler has now appeared in films that have collectively grossed over $700 million worldwide. Yay? Yeah, it's funny because you put a number up of the collective gross, and none of that takes into account the collective cost of all of these films that she's in. And there she is looking, I don't know what that look is. Kind of looks constipated. I'm not really sure. She said she's waiting on a wish, but if she's constipated, maybe she's waiting on something else. I don't know. Let's be clear. That number is meaningless. It's a fluff stat meant to distract from the fact that Snow White is tanking harder than anyone expected, even after months of media spin and celebrity-backed attempts to make Zegler seem misunderstood rather than unpopular. Here's the key line from the article. Snow White's box office performance after 2 weekends in theaters is enough to help its leading star pass a new box office milestone. Translation: yes, the movie flopped, but look over here, look over here, look over here. Isn't Rachel doing great? No, she's not. The film opened way below expectations, dropped 66% in its second weekend, and was defeated by A Working Man. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like defeated by a working man. I don't know if somebody came in with a hard hat and defeated it. But that's actually the title of a movie, A Working Man, a mid-budget Jason Statham film with zero franchise hype, no billion-dollar IP, and no global PR machine behind it. But instead of focusing on that very real, very public rejection of both Zegler and the film, Collider opts to talk about cumulative earnings across multiple films, some of which she barely even headlines. The Rachel Zegler highlight reel, a closer look. Oh boy. Rachel Zegler has never had a success at the box office. The majority of her films were horrendous financial flops. The one film you could argue made money is Hunger Games, A Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, which still pulled in far less than the original Hunger Games trilogy at a time when movie tickets were more expensive. Let's break down the $700 million figure they're so eager to flaunt. The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, $349 million at the box office. The rest of these are complete flops. Shazam! Fury of the Gods, $134 million. West Side Story, only $76 million. Snow White, $143 million and fading fast on a spend of close to $400 million. Y2K, $3.7 million. And then there's Spellbound, which is a Netflix exclusive, and I think it's a cartoon movie, so there's no box office. That should probably be the most successful because you don't actually see Rachel in it because it's an animated film. Every Zegler film has either underperformed or failed outright. That's not open for debate. It's an undeniable fact. But no, to Collider, it's all part of a winning streak.
Right.
Oh, gosh. Rachel Zegler as Maria in 20th Century Studios' West Side Story. Also, by the way, West Side, 20th Century Studios, that's a Disney-owned film. Disney's lost a lot of money on Rachel Zegler. Wow, that's crazy to think about. This is the Hollywood media complex protecting one of their own, propping up a politically active, ideologically aligned actress who has become a lightning rod, not for her talent, but for her behavior. What is some of that behavior?
I'm a narcissist. It's like I'm standing there waiting for the photo op, being like,
well, you kind of are, you know.
And to everyone who hates when I win, the winged victory came to the Louvre in pieces, and people still line up to see her. And I can only hope that despite my flaws, and despite my cracks and my breaks, and there are many of them, that at every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
I mean, you know, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. Yeah. Weird. All of Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows? It's Hollywood, baby.
The real story is audience rejection. Let's not forget that Snow White was tracking for $50 to $60 million and didn't even reach that. It got beat in week 2 by a movie nobody had heard of a month ago. Disney was so concerned about Zegler's public image that they hired a social media babysitter to monitor her post after she told half the country to, quote, never know peace. Yes, quote, never know peace. Yes, that's what she told over 80 million Americans. Well, possibly a whole lot more than that, really. We don't have any idea. But yeah, she told anybody that is basically happy about the direction of the country right now, happy to see a really positive change, that we never know peace. It's horrible. And yet, Collider's angle is she's the second highest grossing actress of her own 6-film resume. She's the second highest grossing actress of her own 6-film resume. That is really, really funny. This is like bragging about a score in a game you lost 6-1. It's a Hollywood participation trophy. This is narrative maintenance, not journalism. Make no mistake, this isn't just about Rachel Zegler. It's about how access media functions. Collider depends on access to studios like Disney for early looks, exclusives, and red carpet invites. When a film like Snow White crashes and burns, these outlets don't call it what it is. They rewrite the story. That is just what they will do. Yes. Sorry. My singing could rewrite a whole lot of other things. But yes, they rewrite the story. It's the same reason puff pieces downplay fan backlash. It's why headlines focus on milestones and career growth while ignoring the second weekend numbers that would doom most other actors' careers. And it's why we see pieces like this filled with irrelevant trivia to avoid confronting the obvious. Well, here at that Park Place, guess what? We see through the spin. Collider can try and gaslight the audience and reframe Snow White as a footnote on Zegler's path to superstardom, but the numbers don't lie, and neither do audiences. When people are choosing a low-key Statham action flick over your heavily marketed legacy remake, the message is loud and clear. In Jason Statham's own voice, he would say, "We're tired of being talked down to. We're tired of ideological lectures disguised as entertainment. And we're especially tired of being told that the box office failure is somehow a win. Take that." Yes. And in case you couldn't understand what I was saying, we're tired of being talked down to. We're tired of ideological lectures disguised as entertainment. And we're especially tired of being told that box office failure is somehow a win. A Collider's spin will not change the facts. Snow White flopped. Bloop. Rachel Zegler's brand is damaged. No amount of media puffery is going to rewrite that. It's to see this kind of thing in a media outlet. I mean, I have seen so much. I have seen a ridiculous amount of puff and spin when it comes to Rachel Zegler and Snow White. I saw it this morning, and I'm like, at this point in time, every time I see an outlet do this, I'm like, block, or just get rid of them. I don't want to see lies. I don't like, and when the lies are that obvious, it's like, it's pretty clear that they're trying to get to people who just are tuned out. And they hope that they'll, I mean, it's like fishing in an empty river, right? You go to a river, there hasn't been a catch there for a long time, and you hope maybe there's one fish left, and you just keep throwing it out, and you hope that you might catch that fish. It's not going to work. Nobody's buying into this. It's not going to save Rachel Zegler or her career. That's my estimation. I think that for at least a time, she's going to be done for in Hollywood. What do you think? Let us know down in the comments below. Is all this going to work? Is it going to puff Rachel Zegler up? Is she going to have a career? Is she going to have a next big thing? Or is she out of Hollywood for a little while? Or what are your other thoughts? Let us know down in the comments below. Let us know before you go. And also, before you go, if you could be so kind as to please click that like button. Of course, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, and click that notification bell. When you click it, you stick it to the YouTube algorithm. You get notified of all of our uploads here at Follow the Bradleys Fun, and we've got lots more ready to go in the can. Please do come back. Check out the Daily Dish live Monday through Friday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern. And until next time, we will see ya real soon. Bye, everybody. Ciao!